Well, I think first of all, going to you know, we paid price or we not paid price, and what are the future? I think future is really bright. It will get worse before it gets better. Why it will get worse? Because Russian adventurers will increase. I think they are going to. Unfortunately, I predicted together with some other people, as I said, Boris Paraschiv, one of them, Crimea. I predicted. Donetsk and what would happen there. I hate to be to be proven right, but it was obvious. You should understand the way of thinking of Putin to understand it. And he will go further. His latest declaration showed that. He might go into a string of military conflicts in southeast Ukraine. He would like to cut roads to Crimea. He has to show Russian people that he is paying back for his humiliation, so-called humiliation, well, lots of humiliation, including like the latest in Australia. And there are, of course, useful idiots in the West who would say, oh, you know, we did it. It's our fault. These people just don't get the lesson at all from anything, from the appeasement of previous dictators of all kinds. He will try to fight in Eastern. He will try to do some provocation if he has enough time to maneuver in the Baltics. He certainly is contemplating considering new military intrusion into South Caucasus, no doubt about it. And he is even playing with something on Kazakhstan, but China is a big impediment for him there. But here he really has this string of things about which he's thinking. So there is this thing. But what I think will happen, he will get stuck. He doesn't have enough military force. He really underestimated still the Western reactions. He underestimated oil and other gas or energy factors. And he underestimated also underestimates tolerance of Russian people towards what might they tolerate. Russians have two things. First of all, there was a deal between him and Russian middle class. Okay, he steals, but Russian middle class lives in normal life. Now, there's two not compatible. This 30% that he were stealing above what they had as an income is gone. Now either he steals or he gives back money to the Russians. He cannot not help not stealing, not because it's not nature of the regime that he has. So he cannot do it. So the fundamental tension. And second, Russians still have this Afghan syndrome. They're fundamentally not capable to tolerate human losses. And basically that's what brave bravery of Ukrainian soldiers is showing. They've done something that is the biggest problem for Putin. More he gets into that fighting, more he will lose, because Ukrainians are fighting for their country, and Putin's soldiers are fighting in a war which they don't want even to recognize they're fighting. And it's a big issue. He's making exactly the same mistakes that the Soviet Union made on energy, on Afghanistan, on other issues. So what I think will happen, that Putin will collapse, and Russia's borders will be changed. Because Russia considered, Russia basically said borders are for grabs. Now, sorry, but also Russia's borders are no longer sacred after what they've done. And that's going to happen within the next 1, 2, 3 years. I don't know. I cannot predict beyond that, but I don't think it will. What we'll be aware of, we should be aware of, a huge risk of him getting into major adventure of playing with the idea of some kind of limited use of nuclear weapons. Because he had been talking about it. So far, he has a record that whatever he had been talking about, he had done it. If he is allowed to, he will do just anything. He's sending the signals beforehand, I might do that. And we should be aware of that and be very careful. And there again, the role of America and maybe Europe is very decisive.